We are in Tenerife, Spain. One of the funny things that happens when you shoot videos like these, we just had a bunch of old people walk by with some dogs and a scuba diving truck back up this whole road in reverse. So these are the fun things that happen. Anywho, we're going to be talking to you today about something I call the 5 stages of growing a service-based business. Now this is important, extremely important actually to you. If you are a coach, consultant, service provider, some kind of expert, agency owner, things like this, you work with people. And if you want to build your business in a way, firstly, where it is predictable, where it is sustainable, meaning it's not just a flash in the pan and you have 3 really good months and then you're out of business when your closest competitor copies or steals your marketing hook, or you have to constantly tweak and change your Facebook ads. So if you want to do this in a way where it is predictable, sustainable, and produces a long-term win that is both beneficial for you as well as your end clients and makes you a lot of money somewhere in the middle, truly changing lives, that you have to understand exactly what stage you're in and how to get to the next stage. Now, why this is important is because I've heard it said that new levels lead new devils. And what that means is that each time you get to a new stage, it actually presents an entirely different set of challenges for you. And until you correctly address what the one key problem is you're trying to fix in that stage, what happens is because most people don't recognize it, they get stuck in a really long time. And I actually experienced this with a partner of mine who built his first $1 million business, and it took him 21 years to do it. And the second time he did it, he basically cloned the same business, but did it where it was, he only worked a couple hours a week. It was way, way smarter and more inspired and more intelligent and much more strategic. And it took him 18 months to be able to do the same thing and do it in a very casual, hang out, golf, and live a good life in the process. And I assume you want the latter, making that actual impact. So the first stage, the very beginning stage is you start out as an entrepreneur, you have exactly one employee, and that's you. You're the CEO, you take out the trash, you got to do the accountant, you got to pay the taxes, you got to fulfill the client orders, you got to go get the clients. And to be honest, this is my least favorite stage, and I feel for you for it because it sucks because you got to do all the work. Now, having said that, what most people don't realize is what they get stuck on in this stage is the one most important thing they fail to do wrong, which is getting actual paying clients. So they focus often on a lot of things that are kind of a roundabout way to get clients, like logos and Facebook pages and updating blogs and tweaking their website even though they don't have any visitors on their website. And they don't understand how to directly really connect with people and make an offer in a way that stands out from the rest of the marketplace. And so until you solve that part right there, you'll never be able to get out of the first stage. Now, if you're in this first stage, what I find is most people can get from maybe 0 to about 20,000 a month, but you'll never really be able to sustainably get past this stage at just 20,000 a month with you doing everything and being the hero there. So the second stage happens when you start introducing employees. Now, these may not be direct employees to you. You may have freelancers who work for you, ads people, designers, funnel builders, whatever the hell they are, but you have employees that work for you. Now, what most people get wrong in this stage is they're still usually very hands-on in the business. What I find is you can get from about 20,000 to 100,000 in this stage, but usually you won't be able to go past 100,000. Usually it's more typically 20 to 50,000 in that range, but it can go on the high side. What happens is, the reason why most people get stuck in this stage is they don't realize all the things they learn to be able to seduce and get clients are the same things they need to be able to do to seduce and get A-plus talent help. And what happens is when you're in this stage, you end up being a micromanager because nobody quite does it like me. And you have these ideas that it's really hard to find good people, and therefore you always need your hand in every pie. And so nothing runs without you, and so you eventually get burnt out and the business gets really fucking hard. Now, the way to get out of this is to realize the reason you need to micromanage people is because you don't have A-plus people, superstars in the first place. So once you get good at hiring superstars, it allows you to then experience the geometric growth and get to the next stage. Now, the third stage, I see very, very few people actually get to in these kind of businesses, but some do. And that's when you reach the stage where you become more like a manager and you're no longer doing any of the day-to-day stuff and you're just managing people. So I'll talk a little louder since we got the old car driving by. Third stage, when you're in this stage, what you find is managerial presents all kinds of problems. And usually in the experience of people want your attention all day long. So you'll hear this question a lot when you're in this stage is, hey, do you got a minute? People will be constantly messaging you and emailing you and fighting for your attention. It requires you then to be an active participant almost 24/7 in the business. Even though you're not actually managing any of the pieces, you're still kind of doing it by managing the front lines. And I don't really enjoy this stage either because I'm a personally shitty manager. But if you're doing that, usually you can get anywhere from 50,000 to about 200,000 a month in that stage. Now, pretty much most coaches, consultants, service providers, agencies will never see the stages past there, but I want to tell you what they are, just so you see how you can build a truly high-level, sustainable, scalable business. The fourth stage is when you truly own it and you own a machine that is hands-off and runs without you. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention in the last stage, stage 3, the way to get past that is you have to be able to manage your business through numbers. You have to know about 5 to 8 key metrics, and you got to know them in your sleep, and you got to use those as tools to systematically diagnose and fix the problems, because as it gets bigger and you're not able to have your finger in every single pie, you need it as a tool to diagnose what to work on, because the machine is outgrown you. Now, once you grow again, the machine usually takes an interesting turn, which is get really big, and it gets really, really fucking hard to maintain the quality of your brand because you have so many new people. I've heard from people who've gone through this that repeatedly it's like, I didn't even know half the people who work for me, so how was I gonna get the best work out of them? So what you have to get really, really good in this stage is processes and systems and procedures, and using those to manage your entire thing, and viewing it all as a machine and stress testing your system so that it can run without you. And the word you need to think of in this stage is franchise. How can you run it like a franchise? And what you find is you get to this stage, you can usually get anywhere from 200,000 to 500,000 a month. And if you want to do 500,000 and $1 million and up, even if you don't actually franchise your business, the last stage is where you run it like a franchise. And that means being able to clone your system from one location or one market to the next, so that your managers and your help and everybody is able to consistently deliver the results that you do. And I've actually seen this with a couple of businesses where they have thousands of coaches and consultants that work under their brand. So Tony Robbins is one of those. There's another one called Action Coach. Several of these, and what they do is they franchise their business model out to coaches, and they make 25% or whatever they make off of everybody's residual efforts. And that's when you play the high level, and that is really based on managing at a high level. So whatever stage you're at in this, I want you to think about correctly identifying which problem you're really facing and how to get to that next level, because until you address what you're really stuck on, it'll be impossible to scale up to the next level. And so go back and watch this again if you need to, figure out where you're at, because getting unstuck and getting to that next level is always more fun. The next level comes with an increased profitability and more freedom and flexibility for you, and so it's more fun that way. So Frankie Finn, over and out, and may the force be with you.